My golden child little sister tried to unalive me the night before my wedding because she couldn't stand that someone finally picked me over her, so I made sure she got locked up for 15 years. My little sister Lena has been my parents' entire world since the day she was born. She was this perfect-looking baby with big blue eyes, and my parents treated her like she was sent from heaven. Meanwhile, I was just the older sister who existed in the background. My parents put Lena in pageants when she was 4, and from that point on, my childhood revolved around her schedule. I missed my own school events because they were too busy driving Lena to competitions across the state. I remember winning first place at my science fair and calling my mom, and she said, "That's nice, honey." But Lena just won her first crown. Can you believe it? I stopped trying after that. Lena also had this thing where she couldn't let me have anything that was mine. Every friend I made, she'd steal. Every hobby I started, she'd suddenly be into, and of course she'd be better because my parents threw money at whatever Lena wanted. She even took my prom date. I had been asked by this guy named Colby, who I'd crushed on for 2 years and 2 days before prom. Lena told him I didn't actually like him and that I was using him to make someone else jealous. Colby believed her and took Lena instead. Even though she was 2 years younger, my parents thought it was adorable. I cried in my room the entire night of prom and nobody came to check on me. So the second I turned 18, I was gone. Moved across the country, worked 2 jobs, put myself through nursing school, and built a life where I actually mattered. Then something crazy happened. I ran into Colby at a coffee shop. 6 years later, he had moved to the same city. By chance, we got to talking, and he told me he had no idea Lena lied to him. He said he always regretted believing her. We started dating, and it felt like the universe was finally correcting itself. Colby proposed after 2 years, and I said yes before he finished the sentence. When we started planning the wedding, I decided to invite my family because despite everything, they were still my blood, and I wanted them to see. I made it without them. Lena showed up to every pre-wedding event with this fake smile, making comments like, "Wow, I can't believe Colby actually settled down, and are you sure he won't change his mind?" I ignored all of it. The night before the wedding, we had the rehearsal dinner at this beautiful vineyard. Everything was perfect. Colby's mom was crying. My girls were hyping me up, and then Lena pulled me aside. She said she needed to talk alone, and she looked like she was about to cry. She told me she was sorry for everything and wanted to start over as real sisters. I actually believed her. She hugged me and handed me a glass of wine, said she picked it out just for me, and wanted to share a toast, just us two, sister to sister. I took a big sip, and almost immediately my chest started burning. It should be known that I have a severe allergy to sulfites, which Lena has known my entire life. I looked at her, and she wasn't crying anymore. She was smiling, this slow little smile, and she whispered, "Maybe Colby will need someone to comfort him tomorrow when you don't make it down the aisle." I dropped the glass and started gasping for air. My maid of honor, Thea, saw me across the patio, fronted over. She had my EpiPen in her bag because she's the kind of friend who actually cares. I was rushed to the ER and spent the night before my wedding in a hospital bed. Colby was pacing the hallway all night, and when I told him what Lena did, he went silent. And if you know Colby, that silence is worse than any yelling because it means he's already decided what to do. The doctors cleared me by morning, and I walked down that aisle with a swollen throat and an IV bruise on my arm, but I walked down it and married the love of my life before the cake was cut. Colby had already called the cops because while I was in the ER, he went back to the vineyard and pulled the security footage. It showed Lena pouring something into my glass from a little bottle hidden in her clutch, clear as day. My parents tried to call it a misunderstanding. My mom looked at my swollen face and said maybe she didn't know about your allergy. This woman grew up in the same house as me for 18 years, watched me get rushed to the hospital 3 times as a kid for the same thing. But sure, Mom, she forgot the trial lasted 5 days. Lena's defense was that she only added a wine enhancer to improve the flavor. Her lawyer could barely keep a straight face. The jury came back in under 2 hours. Guess who's sitting in a cell for the next 15 years? Lena.